Hello everyone. My name is Claudia Sălceanu. I come from the Faculty of Psychology and Educational Sciences, where I teach human development, psychological assessment, and also the methodology of research. So this is how I came up with the idea of presenting this subject, the use of AI tools in research. So the first slide is trying to place a little bit the AI context in our daily lives, because it is the AI tools are something that are widely spread. So we talk about the first artwork that was AI generated, that was sold in an art gallery in 2018. We talk about movies, AI generated movies. The first one was released in 2024. It's an animation called Where the Robots Grow. We talk about AI generated songs that made it to international charts. We talk about opening of all kinds of businesses, like for example a coffee shop that was opened in Stockholm like 1 month ago, more or less, that is AI managed. Or for example the first world's first AI hospital that was opened in China, where AI tools are used for triage diagnostics and patient monitoring. The picture that I put there was actually, I wanted to find, an appropriate image. So I wanted to go to Google and to search for images, and when I asked Google, do you know? the AI answer was pretty funny. I know quite a bit, so it felt a little bit appropriate to put it there. So if we talk about AI, what is AI? It's a branch of the computer sciences that creates systems capable of mimicking human skills like reasoning, problem solving, decision making, and understanding language. And also it gives the possibility to achieve specific goals. Now, in terms of key aspects of AI, we talk about learning and adaptation, because AI tools are capable of learning, of improving, of adapting. In terms of core technologies, we usually speak about machine learning or deep learning, which we will discuss a little bit later. Some of the most common examples of AI tools that we use are chatbots or virtual assistants. And in terms of capabilities, they can analyze, they can predict, and even generate context. Now, using AI in our daily lives has both advantages and disadvantages. In terms of advantages, efficiency and accuracy is probably one of the biggest one, because AI tools are capable of handling complex and repetitive tasks. And in doing so, they can reduce human error. The 24/7 availability is also an important advantage, because machines basically can work constantly. They don't feel tired. They can help us improve our process of decision making, because they are capable of analyzing huge amount of data in a lower amount of time compared to the human capabilities. It can help people get more creative in resolving all kinds of complex work. And also we talk about enhanced personalization, because AI tools tailor the experiences, the contents, the recommendations based on individual user preferences. But as usual, we have another side of the coin. The cons, the disadvantages. In some specific fields or for particular tasks, there's the risk of job displacement, of replacement of human workforce in some tasks. We talk about algorithmic biases, because based on the databases they are learning from, the AI systems can inherit and also amplify all kinds of social biases, for example. The lack of human touch, because AI tools are perceived as neutral from an emotional point of view, which basically means they cannot replicate ethical judgment, empathy, human emotional intelligence. They cannot replicate them. They can mimic them, but not replicate them entirely. We talk about high costs, because developing and implementing AI technology in all kinds of businesses is pretty expensive. And we talk about data privacy risks, because obviously we have to provide information and we don't entirely know how secure is the information that we provide, how it's treated. So also privacy concerns need to be addressed. Now, in terms of the AI landscape, and this is a picture that I actually made with AI, we talk about a pretty large coverage of in the evolution of AI, starting with the symbolic AI and getting to decision support and recommendation systems. So we started with the use of symbols and rules and all kinds of logic to represent knowledge. We went to machine learning, which basically allowed the AI tools to learn patterns from data to improve their performance. We went to deep learning, which was inspired by the way the human brain works. It allowed networking between AI tools. We talk about generative AI that is able to create new and original content. And we talk about predictive AI, which is basically able to forecast future events, all kinds of behaviors and trends. In terms of computer vision, AI tools are capable of analyzing and of interpreting and understanding images and videos. In terms of natural language processing, AI tools are capable of understanding, of manipulating, of interpreting, of translating, of generating human language. We talk about AI agents. We can actually build those. There are autonomous software systems that use AI models in order to decide, in order to take action. And we have recommender systems that help people in the decision-making process. I tried also with the AI, I used Copilot here, by the way, for this picture, to ask for like a timeline of the development of the AI tools. It didn't give me what I asked, but I let it anyway, because I'm gonna come back to this slide to make a point. So basically it gave me this kind of representation, like we were using steps, not the linear one that I asked for, but I'm gonna explain a little bit later why. So coming closer to our subject, the key areas of AI use in research, we documented 4, let's say, dimensions in which we can use AI in research: for literature review and for searching all kinds of relevant information, articles, etc. For data analysis and for visualization, for editing and writing, and also for idea generation and experimentation. And I was thinking, like 2 weeks ago, I think, in our faculty, we had to talk with our students and come up with a list of topics for their graduation exams. Some of them were pretty close to what they wanted to, they knew what they wanted to research. Others were a little bit more vague. And during all kinds of multitasking discussions, at one point I had a discussion with one of the students and we didn't entirely know how to phrase the title. And we were like, let's ask AI, let's ask Copilot. And it gave us a list of 5 or 6, 7, I don't remember how many titles, from which we combined and came up with something that we wanted to do. So it can help us find ideas for research as well. Now, the potential risks, and this is something really important from my point of view, because there are risks when we use AI in research. One of them is hallucinations, because there are a lot of inaccuracies and non-existent citations, which basically means that you have to back up the AI tools that you're using to try to validate the sources in multiple ways. We talk about biases, because, as I said before, AI models can replicate social biases. And we talk about over-reliance because at the end of the day, we have to be present in the research that we're making. We cannot allow AI to do the job for us entirely. Now, sometimes it can be challenging, not necessarily very difficult, but it can be challenging to make a difference between what's real and what's fabricated by the AI, because the sources that it gives have high plausibility. For example, in terms of APA citations that we in the Faculty of Psychology are using, in terms of digital objects identifiers, many of them are fabricated. In fact, some studies show that up to 55% of the references that the AI tools suggest are actually fabricated. So this basically means, dear students, that when you use them and when you give me your papers to read, you should actually try to see if what the AI tools that you used really helped you find relevant and validated information. And hopefully we're going to discuss this in our seminars. Here you have a few examples that we try to put together about different fabricated information that AI provided in terms of policy research, policy sources, in terms of legal citation, in terms of medical misinformation, in terms of fake news or reviews. So again, the use of AI tools is spread in all kinds of fields, but we need to pay a really close attention to what we select from what we get. In the next 3 slides, we try to put together a list of apps that we can use, that have been used, for all kinds of activities that are related to research. One of them is for one series, is for writing or for literature review. And if you want to use the AI tools, you can use them for idea generation, for literature review, for writing support, for editing, for formatting, and for citation management. In our faculty, for example, many students and teachers as well use Zotero and Mendeley for the citations. But there are also other apps that could actually help you write papers, for example, in an academic style. Then we have other series of tools. I'm going to give it the presentation, guys. We have all kinds of tools that we can use for research analysis and for communication, for data processing, for critical text analysis, for statistical analysis, for data visualization, for scientific communication, starting with SPSS, with JAST that you guys know very well, with Google tools, with ChatGPT, Scholar AI review, and so on. So basically, it's a list of possible apps that you can use. And here is a list of tools that we can use for presentations, for example, and for visualization. Napkin, Canva, Gamma, Tomo, Pitch AI, Beautiful AI. Basically, these tools help us with visual communication. They can transform the text into a picture, into a table, into a diagram, depending on what your need is. They can help us create narrative presentations, storytelling. They are enabling people to have like a collaborative teamwork. Now, this is an AI recipe. I'm a beginner in using AI. I actually don't like using it. So, yeah, but the point would be to be conscious of the following things. So, first of all, AI is constantly evolving. It's constantly learning. What results we obtained yesterday, today might be different because it's in a continuous process of learning. That's one. The second one, it's a big difference between free apps and the ones that we pay for. So this is also a thing. I have the free one. It came with the Microsoft Office package. I didn't ask for it. It was there. So I'm gonna come back to that slide, this one. I didn't conceive at that time like a scenario, telling AI what I actually wanted. I told him that I told it that I want like an evolutionary line, that I need the following content, and I ranked the evolutionary steps, so to speak, and it came up with this. It also doubled because I didn't tell it in particular not to double things, so I have the recommendation AI. I don't know if you observed, but I have it here like 2 times. It was supposed to appear just 1 time. And I said, okay, I'm gonna keep the picture just as an example of what not to do. And it also didn't take into consideration the order, because in terms of the evolution, recommendation AI should have been here, the last one after the agentic. But I didn't ask the AI to, like, I didn't give it a specific scenario. So this is what you have to do. In fact, you have to ask to tell it basically, to give it a role, to give it a specific task. You need to do this and that. You need to provide the context. You basically have to write a scenario. You need to tell it the audience, who will read, who will use this information, what type of format you want, because obviously the first question was, what type of picture do you want? Do you want an academic one? Do you want I don't know, artwork and so on? You have to specify exactly whatever it is that you want, bullets, paragraph, etc. You have to let it know the constraints, the length of the text or of the information, the language level, and so on. And very importantly, you have to give the quality criteria. Because without this, one of them, for example, should be not to invent sources, just use, I don't know, validated articles or scientific sources. You have to tell about accuracy, what type of style you want it to be, academic style, or whatever whatever it is that you need, what kind of citation you need, and so on. One more slide. This is the last one. So, what was the conclusion? The future is already here. 2 years ago, 3 years ago, we were speaking about the use of AI tools like in the future. It will come. It's already here. So, and it's right now. It's just about finding the right way to, not necessarily to coexist, but to work together. And this was something that I found on an article, the future professional competencies. It's not about knowledge anymore. No, it's about knowing how to use the AI tools in practical daily tasks, not like me. I'm spending like an hour trying to make it understand what kind of picture I want. You need critical thinking, and that's important because you need validation skills just to make sure that the results that you're getting are the ones that you want. You need the collaborative human AI skills, not only in between humans, adaptability, flexibility, and also digital literacy in understanding the logical thinking of AI. Because this was something that we actually experienced firsthand. I don't know if my colleague is here, Mariana, but during an admission process, like I think 4 or 5 years ago, we do it online, on an online platform. And we opted for a different kind of admission. Instead of having multiple specializations, we came up with a single one, and the students needed to make their options, and based on their means, they would be admitted. The first type of ranking was not a problem, but the second one, when students started to be reassigned to all kinds of programs, this was very challenging for us, because when we use tools, we see the input and the output. We don't see the whole decisional process that is behind that. So it was very difficult for us to confirm that the students actually occupied the places that they were supposed to occupy. We tried to understand what the platform did, how they were distributed, and it was challenging for us at that point. So we do need skills in understanding how this whole process is happening. Thank you very much.